What's up guys, I'm Phoenix Master 1 and welcome back for some more Fire Emblem Heroes, and this is going to be my Forma building guide for this month's Hall of Forms featuring Summer Camilla, Picnic Felicia, Picnic Flora, and Spring Kagero. I'll be going over the best skill options and the best builds that you can try to get on them to get the bang for your buck out of your Forma Soul. And I'll also go over my opinion of them if they're worth your Forma Soul or not, especially if you're a free-to-play player. And I make these guides every single month, so if you do end up enjoying them, then leaving a like and subscribing definitely helps a lot. So with that said, let us begin. If you have any kind of doubt regarding Forma Souls and how the whole process functions, you can check out my comprehensive guide in the description. And in this month's Hall of Forms, we're going to be having skills including up to Ascended Fjorm banner and Legendary Fae banner. And here you can see the exact list of the new stuff that is available in Hall of Forms. So the first unit I'm going to be taking a look at is going to be Summer Camilla. She is a blue mage flyer and she was one of the first ones as a seasonal unit. She's got Juicy Wave Plus, which is basically a desperation weapon, and she definitely needs a big overhaul to her base kit to function in the modern times. I would say that Summer Camilla is basically going to be a unit that you get if you're a big fan of Camilla, because outside of that, I cannot really suggest trying to get her because she just gets outclassed by so many other modern blue mage flyers who are also seasonal units. And some of them are actually going to be having preferred weapons like Spring Est and Summer Legion, who are probably going to be getting a weapon refined later down the line. And there's also Summer Juno, who is a 4-star focus unit in the seasonal banner, so she's a lot easier to merge. So if you're a big Camilla fan, only then it is kind of worth going for Camilla, because as you can see with this comparison, there are just so many other blue mage flyers that you can use in her place. But if you're committed to building up the best Camilla that you can have in Hall of Forms, then this is going to be my ideal recommended build. So for her weapon, the premium and rare options that you can go for are going to be Luminous Grace Plus or Flora Guide Plus. Both of these are going to be providing you with some offensive capability, but I like Flora Guide a bit more because it can also debuff any kind of foes within 2 spaces of Camilla, so allies can actually take benefit of that. So I kind of like it a bit more, but it's up to you if you can get any of these 2 weapons. Attack Speed Catch is going to be the best skill that you can get for slot A. It is going to be giving you the best offenses, but some other options do include Attack Speed Push 4, Susparo 3, and Attack Speed Solo. Speed Resistance Fortrace is going to be the best option that you can have on her, and as it is, range flyers do not have too many options, so be sure to get a trace skill. And then finally, Rain skill is going to be the optimal choice for her slot C. Speed Resistance Rain is the perfect one. You can also try and get Menaces if you never get a Rain skill, but I would always recommend to get the Rain skill over the Menace skill, because you can always get the visible debuffs and visible buffs from other sources, but the in-combat debuff that the rain skills provide are going to be really consistent and can help you a lot. So this build is pretty straightforward, trying to increase their offenses, and you can try the other options like Drifting Grace and Attack Speed Push 4. Like I mentioned, the push skill can definitely be helpful if you're trying to use Juicy Wave as a weapon, because even though it is going to be a default weapon, many times it is going to be pretty nice to have along with the Fortrace skill in the slot B. So push skill can help you with the threshold. Otherwise, you can also get the healing from Drifting Grace. Picnic Flora is a red dagger armor unit, and she's pretty unique with that class type. She's got Ceremonier as her preferred weapon that gives her effective damage against beast units. So this is going to be helping her improve her matchups against the common beast units like Ash and Fallen Edelgard. Then this weapon provides you with +3 attack, and it does a resistance check at start of combat. Because the weapon mentions the wording at start of combat, this means that it is going to be comparing the visible resistance of Flora against the enemy, and the 50% difference of those stats are going to be applied in the form of attack and defense debuffs on the foes. So maximum you can get -8 attack and defense debuff on the foe using this weapon. So increasing our visible resistance is the best way you can make use of this weapon, and the attack debuff can be incredibly good for a unit like Flora, who can function as a far safe tank. And the fact that she's a dagger unit means that she's got the dagger 7 debuffs, which means that she's quite self-sufficient for getting the resistance debuff on the enemy and helping herself with the visible resistance check that this weapon requires. So there are not really too many red far safe armor units in my opinion that don't have to run this encounter in slot A. Flora is pretty much the only other option after Henriette. So Henriette, in my opinion, is just better as a far safe unit because of having better defense, and Unity Blooms just provides you with easier condition to get the debuffs on the enemy, and also provides you with healing and a weapon refine that can give you more stats. Henriette is again going to be better than Flora, but Flora is also not too bad. She can definitely function as a pretty decent far-save tank, but I would have to remind that if you have Ascended Fiarm or far-save Brave Hector, then like Picnic Flora is not going to be giving you that much value as a low investment or unmerged far-save tank. Flora can definitely be really good with higher investment, merges, dragon flowers, but at like unmerged, she's not going to be giving you more value than like Ascended Fiarm, which you may have sparked, or Farsight Brave Hector. So again, I have to remind you that make these decisions depending on the barracks that you have and the units that you have there. It is not going to be same for everyone. So Picnic Flora is a pretty decent far-save tank for a red unit, and because she has a preferred weapon, she might get a seasonal refine, maybe down a couple of years, because she is a book 3 unit, so that is possible. Again, consider your barracks and the investment that you already have on Flora. At unmerged, she's not going to be the best option for a free-to-play player, but it really depends if you like her a lot and depending on your barracks condition. So for her build, you can try to have some other weapon like Courtly Mask or Broadleaf Fan or Caltrop Dagger. Those are going to be the best premium daggers in my opinion that you can get for her. She already comes with the preferred weapon, but if you want to try and get the other weapons, then these could be an option. And Fortress Defense Res is going to be the best option for Slotty to increase her visible resistance so that she can activate her preferred weapon and basically meet the resistance checks, which are going to be done on the basis of visible resistance stat. So this can be helpful, especially when you're going to be using Flora at lower investment, because she's not going to be having merges or dragon flowers to have that increased resistance. But if you have some investment on her already, then you can try getting some other skills for Slotty like Distant Defense, Mirror Stance, or even the Unity skills like Attack Res Unity, for example. Crafty Fighter and Slick Fighter are going to be her best slot B options. She already comes with Bold Fighter, so you can just opt for the enemy phase fighter skills. And Blue Flame is going to be a nice option for any kind of save tank. It is a premium option, but at the end of the day, you can run Iceberg with this kind of build when you finally get her Forma. Far Save is a must on her. I don't think you should consider getting her if you do not get a Far Save skill. It is just way too premium, and it is an absolute must for the playstyle of Picnic Flora. So this is the first build, which is trying to be synergetic with her preferred weapon and its condition. Whenever there's any kind of far save or near save unit, I try to have the calculations here to show you how they perform in Aether Raid's offense, which is the main way that a lot of save tanks are going to be used against the oppressive cavalry units. So this is the matchup chart of Flora against common threats that are present in the Dark Season. So this is a Forma Picnic Flora with no merges, but she has got max dragon flowers at 15 and she has got triple mythic support. So this is pretty much going to be like a neutral type of matchup chart. You can definitely try and improve this matchup by giving more buffs to Flora and having the debuffs on the enemy, like attack debuffs from Temari, for example. So this can definitely improve and you can try to swing it more in your favor, but this is how it will pretty much look. As you can see, Ascended Leguiarn is going to be a big pain for Picnic Flora in general, and so is going to be Cyan Leaf, who's going to be chipping her down really low. Now, one thing where Flora, gets beaten by Henriette is the fact that Henriette is immune to Wind Sweep, whereas Flora is going to be struggling against Byleth, Selena, and stuff like that, who usually carry Wind Sweep in their slot B. She does take quite a bit of damage for my own liking personally against Duolith and Bramimon, which are going to be pretty common, but at the same time against a near threat like Ninja Korin, she does a really fantastic job with her red color and her high resistance. Even against Reinhardt, I don't think she does too badly, considering the fact that this is a plus 10 merge Reinhardt with resplendent stats. So this is pretty much a decent matchup chart. I'll personally not pick her up for my free-to-play account, as I already use Halloween Ileana, and I do consider her color to be a bit better, and it's nice not getting stopped by the Wind Sweep. So again, this is just my opinion and the matchup chart. You can reach your own conclusion by the things which I have presented over here. For her second build, if you're not trying to use her preferred weapon and if you want to use Courtly Mask, then that is an option because there are not too many units who can make use of Courtly Mask from Dancer Lachesis from the Divine Code section, and Winter Cecilia and Picnic Flora are pretty much the only ones that are going to be used a lot. So this can provide you with the damage reduction, which is going to be a lot easier to activate than the debuffs of her preferred weapon, and this could definitely help her in certain matchups. So this is like an alternate build that you could try. And a stand skill is going to be absolutely amazing with a Courtly Mask build, providing you with that guard effect, and Slick Fighter is going to be making you immune to the debuffs, which is going to be super amazing for a tank in Aether Raids. So this build can pretty much give you damage reduction, guard effect, debuff neutralization, and healing with the Mystic boost. There are also some other combos that you could try to get, like attack resistance unity with Crafty Fighter is also a combo with the Courtly Mask build. So Courtly Mask is a pretty nice alternate option if you don't want to use her preferred weapon, but if you want to use her preferred weapon, then the first build is ideally going to be the one which most people are going to be selecting. Picnic Felicia is also present in Hall of Forms with her sister, and she's an Axe armor unit. So we definitely have quite a lot of them, with Valentine Gustav, Brave Edelgard being extremely strong option. Brave Ephraim is also really good. So Picnic Flora definitely faces a ton of competition with those units who are really strong with their preferred weapons. Here she also has a preferred weapon in Eldrimir, which provides her with the effective damage against beast units. So again, that is going to be helpful against Fallen Edelgard for her melee matchup. And this weapon gives her +3 speed, and it has the similar condition to Flora, where it checks for the visible resistance of Felicia against the opponent, and then gives you debuffs on the enemy for their attack and speed depending on the 50% difference between those two stats. So it is going to be giving you attack and speed debuff compared to attack and defense debuff of Flora, and Felicia here doesn't have the highest attack or the highest defense. Flora at least has a pretty respectable attack stat, but Felicia unfortunately lacks that, and she also doesn't have the innate debuffs which Flora can provide with her own dagger, so that can improve her resistance check compared to Felicia, where she will probably need some kind of support for sabotage resistance or something like that to trigger this effect a lot more consistently at lower investment. So Picnic Felicia is definitely going to be struggling as a near save unit, and as I mentioned before, there are just so many other green armor units who can work with the near save build, and even with far save build like Ascended Fiorn for example, that Felicia is not going to be standing out that much. Of course, the fact that she has got speed is going to be helping her in certain matchups where she can deny the doubles and she can run certain skills with other armor units cannot run. So the natural speed of Felicia is going to be coming into the play for increasing her bulk by denying the follow-up attacks. So that is pretty much the niche what Felicia has got, but at the end of the day, I don't think it's going to be helping you too much against something like Brave Alm, who's seen quite a lot in Ether Raid's defense, and he has got this kind of wind sweep effect. So even if you're faster than him, he's still going to be hitting you so hard because Felicia is a green unit who doesn't have the highest defense. So in my opinion, Felicia is not really going to be standing out that much as a one-off copy. For any kind of free-to-play player, there are just better near-save options, even in the Grail pool and in the free-to-play pool. And if you're a big Felicia fan, then this could definitely be an option to get some rare skills, because Felicia definitely needs them. She does have Special Fighter, but she could try to get some other fighter skill as well. So at lower investment, I would suggest just stacking up her attack and defense, which she really needs at this kind of unmerged level. And you can run Crafty or Slick Fighter so that she can have the guaranteed follow-up attack and get past the follow-up negation skills. And you can also try and get some of the premium axes. There are not too many of them, but like Steadfast Axe, Victor Fish Plus, or Springy Axe are going to be the options. Fel Candelabra is also an option which can also help you support your allies, but it's present in the Grail pool. So for the lower investment, attack defense unity is something I prefer on her, but you can also run sturdy stance or close defense 4, or even attack speed unity if you just want to boost up her speed. And near save is pretty much going to be the best Lotsy option so that you can increase her defense and make her work as a near save armor unit. She does have access to Steady Breath, which can of course help you retaliate back with a 2-turn special like Ruptured Sky. There are definitely going to be some other variations of this build as well, like you can run attack defense unity with Crafty Fighter, or you can run sturdy stance with Slick Fighter, or you can run close defense 4 with Crafty Fighter if you have Steadfast Axe to get rid of the debuffs. Victor Fish Plus is not seen that much, mainly because it faces competition from Dex Swapper or Unbound Axe Plus, but those two weapons are not going to be that suited for an armor unit because they have a solo condition. Victor Fish on the other hand doesn't have one, so this can pretty much give you extra defense and some more damage output. So again, the premium options are not going to be there for axes, and these are pretty much the decent ones. So just try to get the combo which you can get with your RNG luck and try to make it work if you're a big Felicia fan. Now, if you are a really big Felicia fan and if you have already invested into Felicia, then you can try and get Hardy Fighter, which is newly available in this Hall of Form. So hear me out on this build and let me explain why I'm recommending this kind of really niche skill on a unit like Felicia. So at higher investment, with Hardy Fighter, she can run a damage reduction skill like Escutcheon and pretty much stack up her attack and speed with something like Attack Speed Unity, Attack Speed Bond, and then her weapon, and that can just boost up her offenses, while Hardy Fighter is going to be providing you with the partial null follow-up, which is extremely helpful for a fast armor unit as we have seen on Ascended Fiorm, and that can prevent the auto follow-ups and also give you the damage reduction with that special to increase her bulk. So this can definitely help her in many matchups, and at higher investments this is something that you could run. I've personally seen many Picnic Felicia users run the same kind of build when they have her at high investment or max investment, and again I will only recommend this build at high or max investment. This is not to be run on lower investment or unmerged. The final unit of this patch is going to be Spring Kagero, and in my opinion only the biggest Kagero fans are going to be going for her because we've already gotten Air as a free unit who's also a colorless dagger flyer, and not to mention Ninja Lin, who is just insanely strong. So Kagero has a hard time comparing to those free units that we've gotten. We have gotten Spring Kagero Combat Manual the first time the limited ephemera unit started, along with Spring Camilla. So you might have her in your barracks, so you can try to get the +1 merge if you get Forma Kagero and if you're a big Kagero fan. So for her build, you can try and go with Courtly Fan, which is a great offensive option, and it can also open up the wind sweep usage for her slot B because the partial null follow-up is built into Courtly Fan. Attack Speed Catch is going to be giving you the most offensive power, and it also has really great synergy with the debuffs of a dagger that she already has. And if you cannot get the cat skill, then Sparrow or Attack Speed Push are going to be some other options. Getting a Trace skill is going to be a must for a Forma Kagero. You can run Wind Sweep from a 4-star Lifis or Joshua, but a Trace skill is a lot more premium, so make sure to get that. And finally, the Rain skill is going to be the most optimal choice for increasing her offenses. So again, pretty straightforward build like Summer Camilla. Out of this entire Holoforms patch, I feel like Picnic Flora is the most useful one as a far save unit, but even then, depending on the barracks that you have, there are going to be a lot better far save units that you can use in place of Picnic Flora, so she's not necessarily a very insane option in my opinion, just the better one out of this patch. Next month is going to be 3 houses Holoforms, and this is going to be my educated guess. There are definitely going to be a lot more chances of being the first lineup with the summer units with Summer Ingrid, Summer Sylvain, and Summer Dorothea. Female Byleth could be present because we have gotten Marita, we have gotten Larce, and also Fodonaik, who are really good sword infantry units. And female Byleth is not necessarily the most insane sword infantry unit at this point in the game, so she could be an option. But if they really wanted to lower the value, I guess they could put Summer Lorenz in place of Byleth and be done with the first lineup. The second lineup is a lot less likely because they're probably going to be preferring the seasonal units, as we have seen with the trend of the Holoforms badges in general. But still, if there was to be a non-seasonal badge, then I could see the second lineup being a thing. So come back to this video to see if I was right or not, and hope you'll enjoy this video. Let me know what you think about this Holoforms, and make sure to share this video with your friends if they're going to be building up any of these Holoforms units. I went over the best options, and if you enjoyed, then make sure to leave a like and a comment, helps me tremendously. And if you really enjoyed, you could always support me directly by using Super Thanks or by becoming a YouTube member. And for more FEH analysis videos, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell, because YouTube sub boxes are about as functional as many Gen 1 seasonal units. So that's it, I'll see you guys next time. Thank you so much for watching and have a great day.